A collaboration between Scott Miniman and myself, J.D. Belcher, and Devin Conway, who is a neuroscientist at Harvard studying how the brain recognizes color. What the viewer does is they actually activate their own synapses to match the color on the right and the color on the left by moving the Polaroid back.
My work is based on determining the systems in the brain that are making memory possible, and in particular looking at how the brain lays down traces that lead to really rich specific memories differently than it lays down traces that are more kind of generalized and just memory.
They need to identify whether they're familiar objects or ones that they're remembering that they've seen before, or whether they're new objects. So it's a very specific memory test. And I remember that there was a bucket and a ball on the test, and so I just worked with those as physical objects that you could experience, but then appear in images that lose some of the information and the rich detail of the original experience, and then transform by the brain's imagination into kind of a strange little creature, and then finally become completely abstract or merged into a shape that you wouldn't recognize by those words probably at all.
I decided to paint a portrait of the brain, which is the painting over there, and I used a diagram from the internet actually that shows which parts of the brain undertake which functions, and then I proceeded to turn it into a painting of mine. And partly this relates to the way Dr. McClellan described the way the brain develops, that there's a process of increasing differentiation and understanding of information, and that's kind of how I develop a painting.
Often we think of scientific discourse and discovery as being something that's very objective, but at the same time it very critically relies on how you represent your information, how what you had to eat that day, what your mood was. A lot of these things trickle into the way that we interpret the results that we get, and in that sense I feel like it really relates to the artistic process.
Oscillatory synchrony has received a lot of attention in the neuroscientific literature because it offers a mechanism by which multiple brain regions might interact with each other. And this is critically important because it's kind of a shift away from a neuroscientific framework in which every brain region is kind of a module that works in its own right on its own content and nothing else. This kind of raises the opportunity that brain regions are involved with each other to dynamically create and drive behavior and cognition.
Visual imagery that was more common, like the up and down firing neurons. Neurons don't fire like this, but I thought that someone doing jumping jacks might give people a better idea of what a frequency means.
Brain scanner gaming, and we're putting it on people, and then we did a sequence of images from our films. We're filmmakers, we're a film studio doing this. Images of violence, and then we take a picture of their brain, and then images of compassion, and then we take an image of their brain, and then we take that data from this portable brain scanner, and we are doing an artistic interpretation of that data. So you walk out of the booth and you get here I'll show you what you get. You get a brain portrait.
What I found is that looking at so many of these pieces, even the raw scientific data, it was moving and it was touching.
This brings art and science together, which is where they've opened.
Artists wanted to move together into a new realm of inquiry. So for example, the piece about memory, the artist said to me that what was most inspiring to her is that the idea of what we forget and how we consolidate that information, it's what we lose, and in losing something, we're able to find a new aspect of it, because when we return to it, it's something different.